everybody. I'm just going to check to make sure we are live. And let's see. It looks like we are. All right. Oh, yep. Let me turn that down. I got lots of information for you today. Lots of information. So, and then hopefully, if all goes well, I may do some fancy things as well, like share my screen. Maybe, I don't know. But that's definitely what I plan on doing. I'm just gonna, while we're waiting for people to show up, I'm just going to just double check to make sure things are set up. Okay, yes they are. All right. So, we will give it a little bit of time for you guys to hop on. When you hop on, let me know who you are and where you are from. I hope to see people on the comments. I have my iPad over here and my computer right in front of me. So hopefully I'll be able to see comments when you hop on. Also, can you do me a sweet favor and hit those likes and those loves and, just kind of hit them. Just hit them and hit them, get them across those screens. Not only does it make me feel better, but it helps this particular video to go straight up to the top of the algorithm within the page, and more people will see it. So we can share the love all the way around. Okay, we got 2 people looking. Hello. Pop in your name. Let me know who you are and where you're from. And we'll get started in a little bit. I got a lot of information. I'm going to try to keep it brief, but the energy systems are very complex, and I'm going to do what I can to kind of do an overview and give you a good amount of information without completely filling your head to the brim with information where it explodes. We don't want that. We do not want that. Okay, so hi, hello, Rebecca, and I guess Crystal was watching, but I'm only seeing one, so I don't know if Crystal is still here. Maybe she'll pop back on, or maybe my counter is wrong. I don't know. So anyway, hello. Just to give you a little bit of an idea of how I run these classes. Because I have a lot of information, what I'll do is I'll say hey and whatever for the first, few minutes. And then once I get into the message, I just go. Because if I get distracted, this will be like a 2-hour class, and we don't want that. And then at the end, I will go back and check the comments, see if there's any questions. Hopefully I get to see everybody. And I can give you a shout out personally. So that's how I run these things, just because, I have ADHD. I get distracted easy, so I got to stay on task. Anyway, so first, I want to send my prayers out to Rebecca, because her little baby is not feeling well right now, and I want to send my energy and send my thoughts and prayers. And let's all say a prayer for her little baby. Cricket, I think? Yeah, Cricket's the name. All right, so the energy systems of the animals and how it relates to animal care, animal energy connection, and better communication. Now, I'm going to be completely honest and transparent. This is mostly going to be about the energy. And then I'll try to tie it all up at the end because, like I said, the energy is crazy. And I'm going to use, my sources are my course materials for my classes. So I have my Healing Touch for Animals course, level 1. that is going to be one of the things. And then I'm using my Healing Touch for Humans book. So, Healing Touch program for humans. I have a kinesiology little manual about healthy pets. That's that one. And I'm going to go into another one of my Healing Touch books, which is my level 4. I'm going to try to put it all together for you without confusing you. So hopefully, if you have any questions, please pop them in the comment box. I may not get to them right away, but I will definitely look at the comments pretty carefully at the end. So anyway, the energy system. Well, first, we all know we all have an energy system. I mean, it goes back to Einstein. E equals mc squared. Matter is energy, energy is matter. That's just what it is. If something is tangible, it's made of energy. It's lots of atoms vibrating around. This goes back to just basic physics. And every living thing and every inanimate object has energy. So it's not just things with life forces. It's just the way our molecules and all that stuff is put together. Now, the energy system, typically, when it all works together, it flows well. It allows us to heal. It allows us to think more efficiently. It allows us, it allows us to do so many things when the energy is clear and flowing properly. When the energy system, no matter whether you're an animal or a human, when the energy system is compromised, we can find ourselves feeling kind of literally beside ourselves because we're out of alignment. The body is more likely to exhibit physical, emotional, and mental distress. Animals may also show an instinctual disconnect. For example, a behavior issue such as hiding or destroying property. So when you have puppies that go and start chewing things, there's an energy issue there. It's not just doggies being a bad doggy. There's an energy. There's a disconnect. There's something that's not aligned properly. A well-aligned, energy-flowing dog would not be trying to soothe itself by eating shoes and pillows and stuff like that. Now, I'm just going to read this one paragraph in the HTS. Understanding the animal's energy system is a key component for the energy medicine and in deciphering any energetic blockages and determining any type of care, whether it be treatment like from somebody like myself, whether it be basic survival care like food, animal massages. And definitely petting is, intentional petting is very good for an animal. That helps them calm down. So, the first thing that we need to understand is what it looks like. The visual is good. Now, I'm going to try my fancy schmancy little thing. I don't know if this is going to work, so I won't be able to see my computer for a little bit. But I'm going to share my screen with you, and we'll see. I'm going to move. Hold on. It's a little bit of a delay. There we go. So now I need to get to my picture so I can get the right picture up. See, I've never done this before, so just bear with me. I gotta find my pictures app here. I got a lot of apps. I got too many apps here. Alright, so hang on for the delay. You should be seeing a picture soon that I took from one of my lights went off, from my healing touch. There we go. So if you can see it. Now this is basically the energy field. Okay. See that big giant circle? That is the energy field of the dog that is sitting right by the feet of the person in the middle of that picture. This is really important to know. And that little tiny little eye-shaped cocoon in the egg-shaped cocoon in the middle, that's us. This is the first step in seeing the differences between the animal's energy field and a human's energy field. Now, I'm going to go to another picture here, and I'm going to show you, let me know if you can see this all right. So, if you can definitely see, that would be great. Gosh, there's such a delay. Such a delay. All right, so here, this is the energy systems of a human. Okay, we have 4 main ones, and the 4th one is kind of split. So we have the etheric field, which is the first body. We have the emotional field, we have the mental field, and then we have a spiritual field. Those are the main bodies, and they are completely separate from each other. They are completely separate. And this is a picture of them all integrated. So I'm going to go and click onto the first page so you can kind of see the difference. Now, I'm not going to go into the details or we'd be here forever. So I just want to give you a visual of what everything looks like. So we have this one, we have the etheric body. So if you can see the etheric body, it's blue. It's basically our body. It's shaped like us. It is a basic template of who we are. And then the next one is the emotional body. And the emotional body is, you see, this is all of our emotions. All this crazy color in here is the emotional body. And you can see they represented the, some of the chakras in there as well. Now I'm going to go to the next one, which, hang on, bear with me. And then we have the mental body. And then we have the astral body. I'm sure you ever heard of astral projection and all that stuff. That's where that happens. And the last one I want to show, or the second to last one I want to show you about the humans, is then we have the etheric template. So this is where all of the information that we have in our bodies or in our lives, this is where it's all stored. And then the last picture here is the celestial body. And this is basically, it is spirituality at its best. It is our connection to the divine. It is all of that. I guess there's more pictures here. Then we have the etheric body. And this is the big one. This is the culmination of it all. And then we go to the basic chakra system. Most of us in the wellness field, especially for doing energy, we understand the chakras. And all of these fields and the chakras basically fuel all of our fields. And that is the same with our animals. But here's where the difference is. Now I'm going to show you one last picture, and then I'll come back to you face to face. This is, hi Rosa. So this, not that one. Sorry, I'm learning here. I've never done this before. All right, so when this picture comes up, there's a delay. There we go. You see in the top square, you see the body with the chakras, okay? And you see the etheric fields, all the energy fields around it. There's a close-up where you can see that they're actually separated. Well, now in the bottom square, you look at the dog. Now look at the square off to the side of the dog. Now, animals have the same energy fields as we do, but they're completely integrated. So if you've ever looked at a picture really close, like a digital picture, and you see all those little squares, that's pixels, okay? That is how an animal's energy field is. It's very integrated and pixelated. You can see the different squares. You can see light colored squares, dark colored squares. You can see all of the different energy fields are completely enmeshed with each other. And this is the reason why dogs and animals in general, cats, horses, lizards, snakes, birds, all of it. This is why they are so super sensitive, and one thing can knock off a lot of different things because they're integrated. But there's one cool thing about the differences here. With us, because we have the layered, what do you call it? I'm losing my train of thought. So we have the layered energy fields. Within those energy fields, I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now. I'll go back to the camera so you can see my face. Now with the, it's coming. I'm waiting. There we go. So what we see in the human field, where it's layered, in between those layers, we can create pockets. So any traumas, anything that happens into our lives can get stuck within those pockets. So clear energy is really important, and that's why humans have a hard time letting things go. We have a hard time clearing our fields because we have so many pockets. We've created so many pockets within each layer that it just takes a little work. You know, that's kind of like what I call the onion thing. You know, when you're working on your own personal development, you have to peel away layers of an onion. And that's kind of what that is. But in the animals' integrated energy fields, they don't hang on to stuff. Now, there are some traumas that can get really embedded, and, you know, if an animal is abused or whatever, it may take a little while to get used to it. But typically, an abused animal will get over the abuse faster than an abused human because of the integrated energy field. And that's a blessing for them. You know, they can shake things off a lot quicker. You know, have you ever noticed if an animal gets scared within like 30 seconds, they're like back to wagging their tail? They can shed that off because of the integrated energy. Now, let me see. I gotta follow. I'm going off the rails here. All right, so going back to that picture of the celestial bodies and the etheric bodies and all the spiritual levels in the human, because the animal's energy field is 10 times the size in all directions, larger than their actual body. I just lost my train of thought. Oh, okay. Sorry. My brain is like going crazy. I don't know what's going on here. It's probably because I'm jumping all over in my head. And I need to kind of ground myself a little bit. So, the animals field, this integrated energy field, that is their instinct. We have the spiritual levels, our connection to God, all that stuff. The animal's instinct is basically their spirituality. Okay? If that makes sense. The instinct is what kind of makes the animal work. Just as our connection to the divine helps us work better, having a healthy energy field in an animal, that instinct is going to be better. They're going to be more in alignment with themselves. And this is really important for the animal. If you want a healthy animal, you need to maintain and nurture the instinctual aspects of the dog's energy field. I love my animals as my children. I do not have human children. My animals have been my children. Right now, I'm down to one fur child. But even though I look at them as I'm their mother, they have health insurance, they have all this stuff, they're still a cat. They're still a dog. They still have needs and instincts that are innate to this species, to the animal, that needs to be maintained for proper alignment. Let me just see. Again, jumping out. I think I may have talked about most of this stuff already. All right, so I want to go into the energy, the chakras, the energy centers, what fuels their field. They're different. My light just came back on again. Okay. So, the animal chakras are different. Now, I don't think I added those to my pictures, but as a human, we go from 1 to 7. So you have the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, you have the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. That's 1 through 7. And because we are vertical, it goes from 1 through 7. Now, an animal, horizontal, even though they still have that vertical line of chakras, they, when treating them, like in my case, when I treat them, I do sacral, or root, sacral, solar, throat, heart, third eye, and crown. It not only does it help make the animal feel more comfortable, but when you're trying to maintain connection to an animal, it's always best to maintain actual physical contact. So when I'm doing, say, a chakra balance on an animal, once I get to the throat, my hand always stays on the throat chakra, which is at the withers. So it always stays there. So when I'm aligning the heart, the third eye, and the crown, I still maintain my hand on the throat chakra. And that helps the animal be a little bit calmer, because especially if you're working with, if you have larger animals, if they don't know where you are, and then you go and touch them, you can spook them because they have that instinct. Okay? The one thing about instinct that I want to talk about a bit is the energy field is not static. Okay? It doesn't stay one size all the time. Now, yes, the animal's energy field may be 10 times the size of the animal's body, but if the animal is, say, distressed or in pain or something like that, they may constrict their energy a little bit to retain that energy so they can self-heal better. If they're in the wild, they may actually, out of survival, they may expand their energy field even larger so they can sense anything that comes within their area as out of protection. So we tend to contract more than we expand. It takes a lot of work for humans to get their energy to expand, because that means vulnerability. That means, and this is the difference between us and animals, we kind of stay kind of tight. Hence the reason why humans tend to get a lot of illnesses, because when you constrict the energy, you impede the flow of the energy. In an animal's instinctual survival tactic of expanding their energy, they are allowing more energy, more, immediate access to their energy in case they have to run or fight or any of that stuff. The instinct is a very big part of this whole thing. But the energy is not static. It does not maintain a certain level. And that is one thing that that we need to kind of understand about animals. Our approach to animals, how we respond to animals, how we talk to animals, or how all of these things that we as humans are used to, animals will sense that differently because of the difference in the energy, because they're instinctual. And that needs to be maintained so they can feel balanced. Let me see. I'm skipping around. I apologize. I did have a nice, neat little outline. But I'm skipping around. But anyway, that's the energy fields. Now, just also, I want to go into just a little bit. I want to, and I'm not going to share my screen. I'm just going to show it to you. Meridians. Animals also have meridians just like we do. And you know how in acupressure and acupuncture there's certain points. Well, it's the same. The meridians is where the life force, the chi of the animal, of us as well, flows through the body. And the more clear the meridians are, the healthier we are and the healthier our pets are. So I'm just going to show this. I did have this set up for sharing, but there's too much of a delay. So if you can see that, this is a dog or cat. These are called nadis. These are the different points of pressure. This is where if you were to take your animal to an acupuncturist, they would probably use these basic points to access the meridians and to help clear whatever. Now there's also acupressure. I have done this a little bit, mainly in the paws, but there are definitely acupressure points. I'm going to show you this again. All right, so there is ear acupressure. So you can see this is both dog or cat. I'm assuming this also goes with horses, but you can see that the different points on the ear are going to show you different where it correlates to in the body. And then you have the front paws, and then you have the back paws. So just as us, they can also respond well to acupressure and acupuncture because it helps the energy flow. We are not that different from animals as far as energy is concerned. The biggest difference between us is the integrated energy field that animals have. We don't have that. It's because we're human. And we are the only species on the planet that actually will step into danger when we know that it's there. Something to think about. Because if your animals sense danger, they aren't going to do nothing. They're going to run away, they're going to freeze, or they're going to fight. It's just what they do. It's just animals for you. But remember that aspect, because we as humans step into danger all the time. It's kind of how we grow. We are very intelligent, mind-focused beings, and we rationalize and we analyze. Now, some animals can kind of do that a little bit, but not much. It is like, if I sense danger, I'm not going. That's just what they do. They'll go around they'll travel. You see, like in wolves and packs of wolves and coyotes and like that. If there's a danger, they will literally go way out of their way to avoid the danger. That's just one thing to keep in mind. And the last part of the energy system, and then I'm gonna kind of bring it all together, is the Hara system. And this is kind of the work where I like to work in. This, I believe, is the spirituality of the animal. We all have Hara systems. And if you can imagine a human, okay? Now, a Hara goes basically right through, if you can imagine like a PVC pipe that goes right through your body and, right through the chakra systems. So from root to crown, above and below, that's your Hara. That is your connection to Mother Earth. That is your connection to the core crystal, we call it, in my work. And it connects to your divine star. Okay, so that is our Hara. Animals have one as well. It's just a little bit different. We stand upright, so we actually work, divine to the ground, through the core crystal. It seems more intuitive, but animals are a little bit different. Now, I just want to read this one paragraph about the Hara. This is like an important part. It's actually when I do a treatment, the first thing I'm taught to do is to assess the Hara and fix the Hara before I do anything. The Hara is a vital part of the energy system and provides the main energy source for the body, mind, and spirit. The Hara provides the energy needed for physical stamina, emotional stability, mental process, and a connection to spirit self, which supports health and well-being. Now, I'm going to show you a picture of how the Hara is in an animal, because obviously they're on all fours. So here is a picture of animal Hara. And you can see that it's like a tube that goes right through the secondary heart chakra, which is also right around the throat chakra, and goes all the way down into the earth and up into the brightest star. And when I work on it, I work on the horizontal, and I work along the chakra systems. This is really, I think this is the most important part of the energy system. Because this is how we keep our animals healthy. This is how they have alignment. This is where they find balance. If this is in good shape, then they can self-heal like nobody's business. So the Hara brings in the energetic vibration needed by the body for survival and provides the strength to thrive. The Hara is the main driver of the energy system and gives the body, mind, and spirit the energy needed to heal itself. That just confirms what I just said. Now, just to go a little bit in detail, the core crystal, if you could just visualize in your mind's eye a crystal deep into the center of the earth. That is the core crystal. Now, the core crystal that's a reference point, a visual reference point that represents the connection to Mother Earth. This is where one recognizes the relationship to self, keeps one grounded and present. And the brightest star is the reference point, and if you can imagine the brightest star in the sky that only you can see. It's way up there, but it's bright, 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 only to you. That is your star. Your animal has one too. So it's a reference point that represents the universal energy, the energy source of God, the energy of God, Spirit, and Source, where one connects fully to their instinctual self and gathers the amount of energy needed at any moment. And it also keeps one connected to nature and instinct, which is very, very important. So those are the basic energy systems. I know that's like taken 30 minutes of our time. But it's really important to understand how the energy works within your animal. It is different from ours, but yet same as well. Knowing those little differences helps you better connect to your animal. Now, to kind of wrap all this up, how does this help you with better communication, energy, connection, and all of that stuff? Well, the first thing, and I mentioned this in my class on Tuesday, awareness. Awareness. It is the word that you will hear come out of my mouth more times than anything. Awareness. So when you are aware of the animal's energy system, you can respect the animal. Respect goes both ways. If you want a well-behaved companion animal, you need to respect the animal for who they are, for what they need, not what you need, but what they need. And it also allows you to manipulate your own energy when dealing with animals. So if you are going to, well, here's an example. You see a dog. Somebody's walking. He looks really, really cute. And you just run up to them like, oh my gosh, look how cute your dog is. And you try to pet them. What do you think that dog's going to do? It's going to growl. It's going to take a step back. It's not going to know what to do because you're coming at it with all of this energy. And his field or her field, whatever, gender the animal is, has this huge energy system. You come in like gangbusters because you're so excited, because you see a cute little animal. The animal can't handle that. Number one, he doesn't know you. And even if he does know you, that's pretty abrupt. It's almost like if some human also came up to you and like stood like 3 inches from your face. How does that feel? You're going to be immediately on the defensive. And this is what happens with animals and children a lot. Yeah, children can get on the animal's nerves, but their energy a lot of times is so big that the animal can't handle it. And then you're going to have animals running away from kids. You're going to have animals biting kids. You're going to have all of that stuff. But when you understand the size of their field and how it's all integrated together, you can approach them in I call it softening your energy, where you manipulate your own energy. You kind of soften it. You're using the respect you have for the animal's energy system in a way that helps the animal feel more comfortable, that can help the animal relate to you better and not be so afraid of you. Remember, they run on instinct. That instinct is there all the time. Even if an animal has been so babied and so not even acting like a dog anymore, like we see some of these little dogs that get like dressed up and carried around and all that stuff like babies, they still have instinct. They still need that. That's part of their essence. So knowing having the respect for the animal's energy system will allow you to manipulate your own energy to better connect. And once the animal feels comfortable with you and doesn't feel like you're going to attack it, because the energy, they don't think the way we do, remember that. Because the energy is so harsh, they find that very aggressive. So without that, with you being able to manipulate your energy down and soften it, you can kind of get down on their level. Sometimes you don't necessarily want to be literally down on their level, but it brings your energy down to something that can be managed by the animal. That is the biggest benefit of understanding the energy systems, is knowing, learning to respect them. Now, the other thing that happens is when you understand how their energy works, you understand the Hara line, and you understand their connection to Source, their connection to the core crystal, then you can respect and appreciate their soul essence, that they are separate. They are their own sentient soul being. And just as this helps with relationships between humans, you can also create a better relationship when you recognize that the animal is its own separate soul being with its own soul purpose. Now, we may never know what the animal's soul purpose is, but I can tell you from the work I've done with animals who had transitioned over, a lot of them, they're so based in unconditional love. They are very open-hearted animals. They don't close off like humans. They're very open-hearted. And I just lost my train of thought again. I am sorry, people. I'm in a lot of pain today, so that could be it. I took medicine beforehand, but I don't know. But knowing the soul, that the animal has a purpose for soul purpose as well as us, whether it's to just be a support to us. Dogs chose to be with humans. Dogs chose the whole pack, family, social mentality. So a lot of dogs in particular, they find a lot of responsibilities to you, to their companion, to their steward. Cats are a little bit different. Cats joined us out of convenience. But I can tell you from my own work, especially with transitioning my boy that just passed away in September, he felt a responsibility to me and the family, and to other things we're not quite sure what it was, but there was a purpose to him. He was here for a reason. So understanding that separation, that separate soul being with a separate soul purpose, can help you even more deeply respect the animal that you share your life with. So very important. We have to respect them, and they will respect us in turn. We need to stay out of our head, because the energy that we create by our thoughts a lot of times is too much for the animal. Or the animal can get really stressed because they pick up on our energy. If you live in a very stressful job, or you work in a very stressful job, or you have worry on your heart all the time, your animal feels that. Remember, their energy field is 10 times larger than the size of them. They feel everything you feel. And the more stressed you are, the more stressed they are. Even if they may not even know it. My cat right now, my girl, she's daddy's girl. She is not, she's not my cat. I'm her protector. If I'm a vet with her, she doesn't want anybody except for me. But when we're home, she basically wants nothing to do with me, unless I'm feeding her treats or giving her medicine or something like that. But what I have noticed is when I am overly stressed, she can't handle it. She gets irritated. She gets she gets stressed out, and she has stress illnesses that she's 18 years old, and she gets different illnesses based on stress. One of them is feline idiopathic cystitis, which I just call FIC, and it's a stress-based disorder where they get stressed and then their bladder gets inflamed and they start, peeing blood and being uncomfortable, and it's 100% stress-based. So I know that I have to keep my energy soft. I have to keep my life. I have to do the self-care necessary for me so I can relate to her energetically, because we are together all the time. Daddy's only here at night. So we need to have that respect. And by me getting out of my head when I'm around her and not sitting in my thought loops and my behavior patterns, it gives her a sense of calm, and she ends up being healthier in the long run. So that's pretty much it. So just to recap, we got all these energy systems. Humans are layered. Pets, animals are integrated. So they can actually slough things off a lot easier than we do. It's easier to clear their energy, and they get over things faster. Their energy is 10 times the size of their body. So if you had a dog or a cat at your feet or around you, you are kind of 3 times covered by their energy field, which I think is amazing. It's one of the reasons why animals heal us so well, is because their energy supports our energy when they are near us. So we have the meridians. The clearer those meridians are, the life force chi can flow through the body much better. And then we have the horror systems, and the horror system is the connection between the core crystal and the divine star, and it powers everything. It powers the chakras. It powers every single field. Every single field has a different vibration in a human. It's all one in an animal. But the horror is the source. The connection to God, source, the universe, that's where they get, and the core crystal, and that's where they get their energy from. We have that too. We need to pay attention to ours as well. And just be aware. Be aware. Respect the animal. Respect their energy. And I'm just going to say it one more time. Animals do not think the way we do. We cannot have our own agendas when dealing with animals. We just can't. They're not going to react to things. They're not going to respond to things the same. They're not going to feel the things the same. They're not going to think the things the same. And it's all because of this energy field. Instinct. Nurture it. So that is the message today. It's long. I apologize. I was hoping to not go so long. But let me just check on some. Oh, we had Dee. Hello, Dee. Yeah, so I don't see any questions. If looks like we have 2 people watching. If you have any questions, now would be the time to ask any questions. I know I gave you a boatload of information, and if you have any further questions or anything like that, feel free to connect with me, and I will do my best. I do have a group. You can see it on the screen. I also put it up in the description, so you can click on it if you want. If you share your life with pets, I'd love to have you in our group. It's relatively new. I've been doing a lot. I shared these classes in there. I've done a couple videos, and we have a dog expert in there. And yeah, just join us. And it's a little community, but I'm trying to build it. I really want to help people live more in balance with their animals. And if you noticed, I slipped only like once, I think, but I don't even like calling them pets. They are animal friends or animal companions, because pets denote property, and they are not our property. They have their own sole purpose. They share our lives with them. They are their own separate soul beings. We cannot own another soul being. So I changed my language a little bit, and you'll find that in the group. I do that. So feel free to join us, and I would love it. So do we have any questions? I don't see any questions popping up on the screen. And I hope Cricket is doing okay. Yeah, I guess that's it. So if we don't have any questions, I will end it. Apologies. I like to keep these videos around 40 minutes, but I talk a lot. Sorry. So yeah, join me if you want to follow me on Facebook. You can follow me, you can friend me, join my group, and I will be here the first week of April for the next Animal Spirituality class. And that's that. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. All of you replayers out there, I know you watch a lot too. So I want to tell you how much I appreciate you and how much I enjoy doing these classes for you. So I hope you get a lot of stuff out of it. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to comment or private message me or whatever. And that's it. So have a wonderful evening, guys. I know it's like, I don't know, almost 3 o'clock your time. It's almost midnight my time. So, so I will see you in April. So thanks so much again. Bye, everybody.